Today I'm going to show you replacing T-molding on a arcade machine or pinball machine. It's the same process for either. Pinball machines, a lot of the sterns have it going around the head. On arcade machines you find it all over the place. Some of them have it on the front of the control panel. Some of them will have it on the control panel boxes like this, or all the way around like the strips of the cabinet. They used it for any open edges of wood. This is once again my Miss Pac-Man conversion project, and this is a piece. The original T-molding originally was a leather texture, I think they call it, and as you can see, this came from the left side. It's shot. I ended up having some black smooth around, and we're going to use that. Now, T-molding is called the T-molding because it's T-shaped. It has a rib with these barbs that will dig in. A lot of times you don't want to be moving it and installing it a lot because your barbs can start ripping out on wood particle boards on the older cabinets. So we're going to try to get this one shot and done. There's a couple tools I'm going to use today. Side cutters, just a hobby knife, knife to have around, and using scissors to get a nice clean cut. There are some, I will also be using a rubber mallet to help with install, and a board. Just a random board, softer one, just something to hammer with. Now, there are some specialty tools you can get, one of which is a slot cutter for cutting this slot. And if you're doing any new construction or repair where you need to cut this, you can cut it some other methods. That's the best way to do it. But it comes at an expense, probably about $30–35 once you get the cutter and the arbor from the retailers. The other special tool is there's a tool to do what they call V-cuts on the back. So a lot of the times the corners you'll see a lot of little cuts when it's not more gradual. It's a little nipper tool. We don't need that, especially for any hobbyist work. If you're not building cabinets professionally, either one of those two tools you probably aren't going to have around. To start with, you want to know length. Now this seemed to fit pretty tight on the top, but when it went around to the bottom, it's about a 1/4 inch short. I'm going to cut mine a little longer. Still going to work my way down because I'd rather have the bottom have the blank. It's nice that I have an original chunk. A lot of times you don't. And I'm going to start with cutting this. I like to use scissors because it gives a nice good cut. I wanted to show you this is a piece of chrome, and it looks real nice when done, but if you look, I tried cutting it with side cuts, it kind of cut the chrome off a little bit. Now if I cut it with scissors, so if I cut it with a side cut, see, it kind of presses in weird. Now if I cut it with scissors, that was a really bad scissor cut. And this actually has a protective coating on it. I get that off. So you can see the scissor cut was a little bit cleaner than the side cuts cut. That's more of that chrome scrap. I'm not going to use that on this one. I'm going to go back to my black. So I'm going to start with cutting it. I'm going to focus on the top and not worry about that blade on the bottom. Good sharp scissors. That's pretty straight. Now for this one I'm looking, and they actually angled it up. I don't have to worry about that. It's going to have enough to go in there. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. Now this has had some repair done to it, and the lid comes over, so if there's a little gap here, that's alright. This has had some repair work, so I'm trying to make the best out of what I have. Now, kind of looking at where I'm at here in the corner, look the same. So the first cut I could actually use this as a form. I want to replicate that. You need to cut V's out in order for it to make the turns. The easiest way to do that is to remove the material with the side cuts. Isn't rocket science, but you do The more you remove, the less you have to bite in to the wood. Here's a simple way to check it. I'm good there. And then the other cut is a little bit further down. Now if you cut wrong, if you cut in the wrong spot for some reason and you have to adjust it, you can just cut a little bit more out. That's following what they had. I'm going to start at the top again. I'm actually going to put it in. I always start at one spot, otherwise you're going to end up with it pulling away, or those weird sags that you get sometimes. So, my tool's on the ground so they don't fall when I'm hammering it. When it's an inside curve, you have to hit it. Looks like we're going to be fine. I'm just going to keep tapping it around. You shouldn't need to install nails or anything fancy. As I told you before, this has had some pretty heavy repair done on it. Now I have plenty of material here, so I'm going to cut it long and then check. Because it's easier to cut back. It always looks bad when you have to piece a little piece in there. I really prefer to, it's pretty close, but I think once this moves around, cut a little bit more off. Okay, let's go for installing. Another thing that makes this more of a challenge is working with the cocktail table. It seems you see it's moving around when I'm trying to hit it. Here's this good spot for the board to come in. There you go. One side done. Now I'm going to do the other 4 pieces around. It's going to only get easier, and looks a lot better than that chunk worn out of it old stuff that we had. Thank you for watching Pinball Mayhem. If you like this, please make sure you subscribe to our channel and watch our other videos.